said. So, you know, community is king. That's why we're here. We're changing people's lives. We're providing an immense amount of value. And the more that you can learn, the more you can shut your mouth and listen and you know, get all of the bombs that we're giving and all the bombs that we're dropping, and you know, do your research and do your learning, the quicker that you're going to go. So these are really, really, really important. And I'm just really fucking excited for where we're going, for what's happening. And yeah, with that, I'll kick it over to Tyler.
What's up, guys?
Tyler.
Am I the Tyler you're referring to, or no? Now you're muted.
Yes, I said Tyler, my main man Tyler. You're my main man Tyler.
I couldn't hear you. Sam's been screaming in my ear and licking me. Okay, he hasn't been licking me yet. I'm just kidding. But no, guys, obviously super excited. For those of you guys that are unaware, the reason that I'm in a car right now instead of like at home and look like I'm prepared is because we are going to Cancun. Allie, Colton, Sam, and myself, Nick, Blake. So we are just doing some last minute errands.
How about Ryan?
Our flight leaves Thursday morning early at like 6 a.m. So I'll be heading to Colton's tomorrow. But guys, we are going to keep this really, really short and pack as much value into this as possible. I decided this morning that I wanted to train on the art of edification in this industry. Now, some of you might not even know what that means. And just to put it into a nutshell, the edification, what it means is basically to talk up another human being. So when you introduce someone to somebody else, there's a level of respect that is gained for that other individual, which is key, obviously, in this industry. This is what we do. We talk to people and we make new connections. We network and we grow our networks and we make these introductions, guys. But I'm going to just address the elephant in the room. I do have a notepad. I did write down some notes that I'm going to go off of. And this is a key for you guys. I want you guys to pull out a pen and paper, pull out a notepad. You guys should be taking notes. Leaders are readers, but they're also note takers. Okay? You know, one of the biggest takeaways for myself, Colton, Sam, that we've been doing this now for a year plus, Colton and I over 2 years, you know, you have to be a person that is always learning. You cannot be a know-it-all. You cannot assume that you are just going to retain all the information that is spewed out, because like I said, we're going to go over quite a bit. But I'm going to pack as much of this in. You know, we're going to not take up too much of your guys' time. I know we're a little bit late. And time is our most valuable commodity. You're never going to get any of that back, guys. But the art of edification and introducing your prospects to people that have been doing this for a while. So obviously you guys went through an Art of Art training. You guys saw what you need to do, right? To tool, invite, present, to put somebody through the funnel to properly expose your prospects, the people that you're sharing this with, to your business and to your opportunity and what we offer as a company at Live. So the only thing, this was probably the biggest multiplier, you know, for myself and for Colton, for Sam, for Allie, in growing our businesses when we finally learned how to master the tool and the art of edification. And I'm going to get into really what that means, guys. So there's 2 reasons why you would edify the person that you are introducing your prospect to. So let's say you're doing a 3-way phone call with your prospect and myself, or with Colton or Allie or whoever, Drea. It could be anybody. It doesn't matter. But there's 2 reasons why we do that in the first place. The first one is the law of familiarity. There are people that you're talking to right now or going to be talking to that they only see you through one lens. They only see you through whatever it is that they knew you growing up, right? They see you as the goofy kid that parties. They see you as the sports guy. They see you as whatever it is that they see you as. And that's why we call on third-party perspectives. That's why we throw the ball, we hand the ball off, right? Be the quarterback. We hand the ball off to other people. People that, one, they can answer the questions that you can't answer, right? And you're also leveraging somebody else who has a skill set and a mindset, and they have a story. And by you doing that, you will eventually get to a place where you are going to become the edified. That's the beautiful thing about network marketing. We all have different strengths and we all have different weaknesses. You don't have to be the best speaker. You don't have to be the best presenter. You don't have to be the best closer, and you don't need to have the story. I heard a quote from Ray Higdon. I listen to his podcast a lot. I highly recommend you guys check him out. but he says, I could go to any company, right? He's like, I don't even need to have a story. I don't need to know anything about the products. I don't need to know the ins and outs of the comp plan. I don't need to know any of that stuff. All I need to know is somebody else's story. I just need a few stories of people that this is working for, and that's what will make the difference. Because at the end of the day, facts tell, but stories sell, and stories are relatable, right? The facts are the facts. When you get somebody in front of an overview and they see all this information, they're getting the facts. They're seeing how it works. They're seeing the details, and all that's great. All that's cool. But guess what? It's the stories of the individuals, whether it's from the business side, whether it's from just the membership, right? Sam going to Iceland for 19 bucks, for example, that's crazy. But those stories are ultimately what is influential to the people that you're sharing this with, right? Influence is a fancy word for sales, guys, but you don't want to be the message. You want to be the messenger. So I'm going to put this really, really simply for you guys in what it means to edify. So the reason that we edify is, one, it provides trust. When you introduce a prospect to Colton, to myself, to Sam, to Allie, to Nick or Blake or to whoever, you want to edify these people because they don't know one another, right? You know them and you know your leader, right? But these people don't know each other. So you want to edify them to create trust, because for all they know, when you edify somebody and all you say is, you know, here's Colton, you know, he's made a lot of money, and Colton, meet Ryan. There's no trust there. For all they know, that's just somebody trying to get into their pockets. So you got to create trust. And I'm actually going to, Sam, you want to grab this? And I'm going to draw you guys a nice little example. Let me know if you can see that. Colton, give me a thumbs up if you can see that. Dope. So guys, this is you, right? This is your prospect. And then this is the leader that you are introducing them to. You guys have trust. You guys know each other. You two have trust. You two know each other. Your job is to bridge this gap between your prospect and the person that you're edifying, right? You want to bridge the gap with trust. Does that make sense? So let me switch this back around for you guys. Sheesh. On the fly, guys. It's not perfect. It's not pretty, but it works. But no, guys, so to give you guys a good example and a bad example, I already gave you guys one bad one. But like if I was introducing Colton to one of my prospects, right? They already saw all the information. I'm on a 3-way phone call. And all I say is, hey, Tony, meet my buddy Colton. You know, he's made a lot of money in this, and he knows more than I do. So I just wanted, you to ask him all your questions. There's no trust there. That is not a good edification. And yeah, that's great that Colton's having success. Yeah, that's great that Colton's making money. But it doesn't matter, because Colton's income is never going to pay their bills. Colton's income is never going to pay my bills. Yes, there's a figure of authority there, but most people have a problem with authority. And again, guys, facts tell, stories sell. So a great example, and I love edifying Colton. Obviously, I've had a lot of practice with it. You guys got to get to know the people's stories that you're edifying. It only takes 30 seconds, but it can be really, really powerful, and you can establish a lot of trust. So for example, you know, if I'm edifying Tony Lucero, our millionaire mentor, for example, and, I get on the phone and I just say, hey, listen, I wanted you to meet Tony Lucero. This guy is my best friend. He's one of my mentors, and he's also a business partner. You know, I've literally watched this guy personally change thousands of people's lives. You know, I look up to him in all levels of life. He's got a beautiful family. He's got an insane house. You know, he's a 7-figure earner, and he just has a massive, massive heart, you know, for helping people. He truly puts people ahead of profits, and that is why he is where he is. And I'm just super, super excited for him to meet you. But guys, your job is not done there. You also want to edify your prospect to whoever it is that you're introducing them to. And it doesn't have to be that big of a deal. Keep it short. If I could give you guys a little like outline script, you want to keep it fact, heart. And you want to keep the levels right here. You don't want to make the person that you're edifying up here And you don't want to make your prospect up here. You want to keep them on the same level. That way there's respect there, right? And there's no ego battles. So you want to keep them on the same level. So after you edify, your leader or whoever you're introducing them to that has the story, right? And they have the skill sets, and they can answer their questions. You also want to edify your prospect, right? So you could just say something like, hey, listen, Tony, I wanted to introduce you to my guy, Nick, one of my best friends. I know he's very driven and very entrepreneurial minded. And I have a great deal of respect for this guy. And I know he would bring a lot. He would be an asset to this company. And I just feel like we could do really big things. And I think by introducing you to, like, something special is going to happen. And at that point, guys, you literally mute out and listen. Your job is done, right? You want to edify both people. You want to make your prospect feel welcomed, right? And you want to give your leader or the person that you're edifying, a foundation to go off of, because like I said, otherwise they're just a perfect stranger and they don't know any better. And when they trust you and you can edify your leader and you can establish that rapport and that trust for them, it makes it a ton easier, and they trust your word. They don't trust the stranger that they've never met. Does that make sense? Right? You want to establish that trust. You want to bridge the gap. And like I said, guys, once you edify them and once you introduce them, mute out. Don't say anything. Don't try and do too much. Don't try and step in and try and sell whenever there's an awkward silence. There's a reason that there's a silence happening right now. The person that you're sharing them with, you're introducing them to, is doing that on purpose. So just mute out, listen. That's how you're going to learn. But did you guys notice? Go in the chat box, please, if you don't mind. Please let me know if that made sense from a good example and a bad example of edification. Did you guys see where trust was established? Did you guys see where that felt different? It wasn't, this guy's made money, now talk to him. There's no trust there, right? When you can come at somebody and you can truthfully feel like it's their best interest in mind, the game changes. It goes from helping one another. It goes from selling one another, rather, to helping that person with what it is that you are offering. So you guys need to edify. Don't just get on Zooms. Don't get on calls with people and, just expect your upline or expect the person that's helping you build this business that has a story to just jump in and take it over. You guys do have to do a little bit. You guys got to make the introduction, edify them, establish some rapport and some respect. And like I said, guys, at the end of the day, facts tell, and stories sell. Stories are relatable. The facts are good. The facts give them the information to make a decision logically, but the stories is ultimately what influences them to want to join. People don't join companies. People join people. People aren't buying your membership. People aren't buying your business opportunity. People are buying you. They're buying you. And you might not have the story right now. That's fine. We all started there. None of us had a story when we got started. But there are tons and tons and tons and tons of other people that do have a story. If you can leverage theirs, right? Your goal after that call is you want that leader's story to be so embedded in your prospect's mind that it shifts their whole mentality. It shifts their whole filter. And that's really what makes all the difference. I remember 2.5 years ago, I was sitting on a Zoom, knew absolutely nothing. I saw an overview like a lot of you may have. And I literally just listened to Mikey, share his story, and that was cool and that was great, but it wasn't relatable to me. And then Colton hops on and he shares his story. Literally had been in the business for a month, same exact age as me, from the same state, right? And he had, I could relate to him on so many levels. And then when I saw that he was able to have success, all I saw was if he can do it, I can do it too. And obviously I'm going to be able to work with that person. That's the key. That's the power of edification, guys. So, there's more to this. Obviously you guys saw the Art of R. You guys saw, how to send a tool properly. You guys saw how to invite to a presentation, and then you have the presentation. But in that process, there needs to be edification, especially when you do a 3-way phone call with somebody. Don't just expect your upline to be able to come in and build rapport. They definitely can, and we try to, but it makes it a whole heck of a lot easier, and you guys are going to have a lot more success, getting people to not feel uncomfortable, because usually how a call starts is usually how it ends. And if it starts off awkward with no respect, then it's going to end that way. And you're going to end up frustrated, and your business isn't going to move forward, really, at the end of the day. But at this point, that is all I have prepared for you guys. I will kick it over to Allie. Colton, if you guys don't mind, any comments you guys want to add? Also, if you guys wanted to go through a couple examples outside of the ones that I did, feel free. Well, I'll kick it over to you.
No, yeah, you did really good. I have all the notes that you obviously have, but edifying is the key. It's the most simple thing. Literally the most simple thing, but it's the most powerful. How I, got to this point and the level of income, to step away from my job was edifying. I kept my mouth shut, but I was a very good edifier. I edified my upline. I edified Tyler. I'm edifying Tony and Rhonda. Like I'm making them, I'm making them them build trust, right? Like Tyler said, bridge that gap. I bridge that gap every single time. I bridge the gap between the trust. I made sure my prospect that I was talking to was trusted Tony and Rhonda or trusted Tyler. So bridging that gap for the trust is the ultimate key. It literally takes 30 seconds. If you can master that 30-second edification, everything changes. So, if you got a prospect that comes on Zoom and, just sits there and just all this negative energy, you didn't edify correctly. You didn't edify us. So before you put someone on Zoom, edify, bridge the gap, build the trust, and that changes everything. Like Tyler said, stories are relatable. Be the messenger rather than the message itself. And then, edifying, like I said, that's all you guys got to do at this point. Obviously you'll get to that point where you're going to be presenting, but you don't present. Allow the edifier to present. Edify us, bridge the gap, let the edifier present for you. And then at this point, the reason, like I said, where I am is I became a master edifier. I became a master connector. That's it. You guys just got to learn how to be a master connector. If you guys can be a master connector in this business, you guys can get anything you want. All the whatever income goal, whatever you guys got, you guys can achieve just by becoming a master connector. So be a master connector, be a master edifier, plug them into the Zooms, bridge that gap, build that trust, and you guys will have a lot more success. So that's all I got. Allie, if you want to speak on anything otherwise I saw Tyler unmute.
No, that was great. The only thing that I would add to that, you guys, it's not just about necessarily what you say. It's about the energy that you put behind it too. So it's one thing to say, like, yeah, this is Colton. He's my best friend. He's making, going to be making 6 figures. So that energy compared to, I've been waiting all day for you to meet Colton. He's 22. He'll be making 6 figures. He's an absolute badass rock star, crushing it. He's a leader. He's an influencer. He knows how to create leaders. He knows how to create influencers. And not only that, but his mission and his values in life is just amazing. He just truly wants to help people. And I am honored to call him, my best friend and my business partner. That energy, it doesn't matter really what I said, but it was my energy that I put towards it, right? So it's one thing to say that with that energy and your hand gestures and be excited. Be excited to make these connections because your prospect will feel that. As opposed to saying, yeah, this is Colton. He's my best friend. He's a leader. This is fucking Colton. He's my best friend. He's a leader. Like, be excited. There's a big difference. And, like, don't be cheesy about it, obviously, but your energy behind it is really, really, really important. So.
Amen, Allie. I appreciate that. That was probably the only point I feel like I missed out on is the energy. Yes. Again, guys, and you guys heard me say this before. People buy you. They don't buy necessarily what you're doing. If you're excited, they don't even need to know anything. They just want to know. They just want to be around that energy. If your fire is warm enough, people are going to come. They're going to want to be around that. And that's why people join anything. They want to be a part of something bigger than themselves if the culture is right. Right. And we feel that we have that here. So in closing, guys, obviously we have the overview here in an hour. And I don't know if you guys, for those of you that have been on multiple of these, you can just take examples of the way that we edify each other. Right? I edify Allie on that thing like crazy. I edify Sam, Colton. We all edify each other, and just keep a keen ear for that. And you're going to hear that even on tonight's and all the ones, moving forward into the future. Just listen to the way that we edify each other. And those are probably, that's how we learned, was just by listening and learning, taking notes, and then practicing. You guys aren't going to get it right the first time. You're not going to get it right the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th time. You guys got to repetitions. Go through the numbers, do the work. And it's all going to happen, over time. Nothing comes easy. Rome wasn't built in a day. And, obviously we love you guys. Super, super excited. And with that being said, hopefully you guys got a ton of value. We're going to wrap this thing up because we want to value your time, like we said. But I'm going to go in. I'm going to get ready for Cancun, and I look forward to seeing some of you guys there. And for those of you that are building for tonight's call, let's pack it out. Let's have an epic, epic Tuesday night, guys. This call is officially wrapped. Love you guys.